All right, and we're back. That was an awesome jam. Wasn't that great, Colin?
That was fantastic. Best jam ever.
So I'm going to try something new with you. Is a game that I thought of that we could play,
Okay,
and I was going to rehearse it, but I didn't. So it'll be extra fun.
here we go.
Can you tell me? And I might have been on one of these with you, maybe not, but one of the or the worst gig you've ever had in your life, just a really bad gig.
Yeah, I remember you asking Andy about this
Yep.
before. Like, I gotta probably think the pirate party
Okay.
gig. That one ranks. Did you guys talk about that one before
Well,
on
he
there?
didn't pick it. And I mentioned it, and he was like, "Ah, that gig wasn't that bad."
So, dude, so we were hired after playing a cool festival gig by someone who saw us there to go play someone's 40th birthday party at a yacht club. And so, like, there's like the one person who liked our kind of music there, then everyone else was just looking for their top 40, classic rock, pop, whatever stuff. And so, everyone was hanging out outside. We were in the clubhouse playing to no one for the entire time. And then they, like, at some point, the person whose birthday it was, their buddy was like a professional cover band, and so they asked if they could come in and use all our gear and play all our stuff. And so we're like, whatever, cool. You can use our stuff. That's fine. So we took a break. They came in, played their stuff, and then everyone came inside at the time of their lives. And then as soon as they stopped playing, we came back out, and everyone left once again, except for this one gal who was just ridiculously drunk. And while Andy was playing an epic solo, she was like in his ear asking him to play Kid Rock's Summer Song for like a solid 5 minutes. But that was probably one of the least satisfying gigs I can remember. Um, I don't know. You got a different one on your list there?
No, that was probably like there's probably a few like that, but that was definitely one of the ones. I was the whole time I was like, why didn't you just have them play?
Yeah, right. It's
You
like
could have. We could have given you a rate to rent all our gear,
yeah, yeah,
and that would have been we would have sat on the beach the whole time.
yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't understand that one.
You gig as much as we do. You play plenty of gigs where there's like two folks in the crowd or something like that. I'm totally fine with that. It's if nothing else, you play with your friends. But when there's that many people there, you're just not vibing with at all in any way, shape, or form. That was definitely weird. And they were all dressed as pirates too for
Yeah,
for no reason at all. But anyway,
yeah. I think there's some pictures from that still that gig,
yep,
but
that was a
yeah,
weird one.
yeah. It was weird to play and just have nobody pay attention. Like, well, they're not into music, and then the other band plays. Well, I guess they are
Yeah,
to their
yep,
music. Yeah.
yep.
You don't have your monster fiddle around there, do you? Probably,
Uh,
probably in the other room.
Grab it if you like. It's
Well,
in the
no, you don't need to. I'll put a picture of it, but it's a cool paint job. So I figured I'd show that.
Yeah,
Yep. And is that really a Fender?
it is. Yeah,
Is
it was like a Fender FV1 that I stripped all the electronics off and put a pretty cool pickup in, and then my wife painted the whole monster thing up on top of it there.
yep. Well, I asked you about musical influences, but do you have any just straight violin players or fiddlers, like just for pure fiddle playing? Any favorites?
Um, I as far as my influence, I feel like I'm more influenced by guitar players and horn players and some other things like that. But as far as fiddle players, I was playing a lot of bluegrass fiddle. I kind of learned like a Kenny Baker style of bluegrass fiddle. So I've been told folks hear Kenny Baker in my fiddling before. But there's some other great players. There was at the Milwaukee Irish Music Festival one year with my wife, and we saw this band there called Leahy, and they had one guy, I can't even remember his name, but he was the best fiddle player I'd ever seen before, just period. I should really look his name up. He's married to Eileen Ivers now, and they have lots of little fiddle playing children in this whole clan and stuff like that. But that guy really blew me away. Um, outside of that, like Vassar Clemens, who like played with Jerry and folks in Old and in the Way. I really liked his stuff a lot. Jean-Luc Ponty always comes up as like a crossover fiddle player, and he's great. I never quite latched onto his style as something that I loved as much as a lot of other musicians out there. So yeah. Anyway.
Did you ever get into like Stefan or Stephen Grappelli?
Oh, Stefan Grappelli, yeah. I definitely listened to his jazz stuff a fair bit. Him playing with Django Reinhardt is something special. That is pretty awesome.
Yep, they were a good combination.
Yep.
They got the guitar part is the pump. You ever heard of that?
No,
like the
what's that?
Just that
like
rhythm of
jazz,
strum.
The jazz quarter notes there.
Yep. Kind of Freddie Green, but a little bit of swing.
Yep.
That Django had.
Yep.
So you play violin and guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play the hurdy-gurdy?
I'm virtuoso at the hurdy-gurdy.
Okay. Can you play us something right now?
What is the hurdy-gurdy?
I think it's one of those big things with I don't even know. It's like huge. I remember in the music. I have my Elements of Music book. I could look it up.
Oh.
But it was some big, huge, ridiculous-looking instrument that looked like a.
Put that caption up right there.
Yep, I'll put it right.
Yeah,
there.
that's the spot. That's the
or
spot.
There.
No, not there.
There.
There you go.
Okay, put it there.
Yep.
Let me look through my question list. I wrote a special question list out just for you. And what drew you to the trombone? Just kidding. Oh yeah, this is a good question. This is a really good question.
Okay.
Not really. It is a question though. What do you like to do? Not like what do you like to do? You might love your job too, but outside of music, what are some of your hobbies? And I know you like doing a lot of stuff with the kids.
That's most of it. I played soccer a bunch in high school, so I try to do that to keep from getting too fat. Outside of that, like you said, I just try to soak up the time I have with my kids while they're in the house and everything. Just doing, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I like doing outdoorsy stuff, and I like we like doing build projects with the kids and stuff like that. We'll just think of something goofy to build, like we made a little catapult from scratch, just out of some stuff in the house with the boy, and that was pretty cool. Mostly it's all music, and then just keeping up with the kids.
So music and weapons.
What's that?
Music and weapons.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a kit. You actually built a catapult, right?
Yeah, it was about this big.
Yeah, just some little engineering project. Well, you're an engineer by trade, right?
That's my profession. Yeah.
Yep.
So I make most of the money.
Yep. Excellent. Well, he'll remember those days for sure, and he'll build a big giant catapult someday.
Yep.
I think is that what Elon Musk is using to put the satellites up in space?
Probably. I mean, that makes sense.
So I wanted to ask too, because we did the Back 40 gig in what was that? Like it was during the summer. You're doing Annalise. We got to jam at your house.
Yep, that was cool.
And it's harder to play music with people like around next to you. But so what are all the projects or musicians you're collaborating with right now? You got Annalise.
Mainly Annalise is the only thing right now. We've been that's been the main project for a little while leading up into the COVID break here and everything, and so we're not a lot of gigs coming up, so we figured it was a perfect time to start working on an album. So we got 7 tunes picked out with those guys, and we're really trying to polish those and get those recording ready. So hopefully we'll have an album out by the time this thing's all over here. So.
Cool. And are you going to record it there at the Murphtone studio?
Yeah, I think we'll record everything here and maybe mix it here. We'll definitely. I like. I invested in this thing a while back, and I like being able to be relaxed about tracking and not worry about feeding the meter. when you go into a paid studio as much and things like that. So it works out pretty well.
Yeah, I never liked that either. It's so much pressure because the dollar signs or the dollars are clicking away.
Yeah.
And it takes so long to set up and get the sound right. You're like, oh, I already spent all this money. We haven't played yet. Then you're kind of stressed out.
Yeah.
So the home studio is the way to go. You just gotta. It's hard to get like all the awesome mics, but eventually build up a collection.
I actually when I bought a house, I took the first time home buyer's tax credit and took that whole thing and pretty much put it into the home studio here, and with some other things. But yeah, and then I did a whole bunch of study and research and things like that, and I feel like I got a pretty good set of gear and figured out how to do a lot of things pretty well. So I've been pretty happy with the recording projects we've been putting out of here.
Yep. And you're using Pro Tools, right?
Pro Tools, yep.
And I think you're doing it where it's a not online machine, and you're just keeping like the version you have, right?
Yeah, actually, my stuff's getting pretty old at this point. I'm probably gonna have to update it at some point. But I got a computer I've never plugged into the internet for the whole time, so I think that probably helps keep it clean. But
I mean, it still should work. Still works.
Yeah, still works well.
Yep. Well, I've gone long in the segment. We're gonna cut one more time to this awesome music featuring Mr. Colin Murphy. I could actually put you anywhere, so.
Yeah, sure.